Hello and welcome to another Tuesday episode of the Truca RE podcast, where we interview business owners who've changed their lives and they give you tips and strategies that you can take away and plug into your business. And today we have a very special guest, somebody who is in his early 20s. I'll let him tell you a whole lot more about himself. But he's someone I've known now for several years, part of our mastermind community, and someone who is succeeding at a great level and also got knocked down a few times. And we're going to talk about the good, the bad, the ugly, however deep that he's comfortable going and can go. And I'm very excited for you to hear from this gentleman. So join me in welcoming Marcel Sunday as soon as Leo helps me figure out how to bring him up. Marcel, how you feeling, man?
I'm feeling wonderful, man. 10 out of 10.
Good. And just to address the elephant in the room, I know Marcel is struggling with some mic challenges, so forgive us. I may ask him to repeat himself a few times. I guarantee you, though, that it will be so worth it because of the value he's going to drop for you. So thank you for being with us today and for sticking with us. Marcel, how old are you? Where are you from? And what do you do? Give us your brief 60-second bio here.
Yeah, so I'm a 23-year-old real estate investor. I buy deals here in Savannah, Georgia, and within about an hour from Savannah. And I specialize in creative deals. That I learned how to do creative deals from you. And
hang on a second. You cut out. You specialize in what?
Yes, I specialize in creative deals, and I learned creative deal finding from you. And I also do some wholesales and some fix and flips and buy and holds as well.
I love that. In fact, last time I was out to see you is when I captured this beautiful Savannah coffee mug. So thank you for hopping on with us. Today will be a short episode, but a power-packed episode. And, I remember meeting you when you were just getting started in the game, and something that I'm going to do probably slightly different, just so the audio challenges doesn't make it more difficult, is I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'll probably add some feedback and some theory around them too. I want to hear, though, what was the thing that made you say real estate will work for me? You was 20 when you started, right? Or younger than that?
I was 18.
18. So 5 years ago, what's the thing that made you say like real estate is something that could work for me?
So for me, I got lucky because my mom was a real estate agent, right? So she was already doing real estate in a way, but she wasn't doing the investing thing. So seeing her constantly doing open houses and selling properties really made me want to get into real estate as well.
So your mom being a realtor and coming from that background, and I know you had growing up, you had a lot of ups and downs and a lot of things, but I want to fast forward and we'll get in, perhaps we'll have you back on another episode where we get into the teenage years and the rough years and the things that you may or may not want to talk about, and what kind of led to the Marcel we know today. But you have such an incredible story and driver, and I want everyone in the short time we have here today to hear from you a little bit about that. Like, tell us a little bit about what drives Marcel as a 23-year-old real estate investor, because you've been through some crap, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But what drives you right now?
So when I was 18, my father passed away due to COVID. And that was a catalyst that essentially changed everything for me. And so that's my initial driver. That's what drives me. That's what makes me want to get up every day and keep moving no matter what challenges get in my way.
So something that you share there, and forgive me, I don't want to overstate this, but I know it's very difficult to hear Marcel, so I'm going to repeat what he said. But with his father passing away during COVID, really set a fire under you to become the man for the world around you that you knew the world around you needed, and to begin to lead yourself in a way that would make your dad proud. Is that an accurate statement?
Yeah.
I think that is such a powerful thing and such a powerful driver. If you could offer just some tips and tricks, and you look at your business today, having done many dozens of deals, what's two or three things that really have made the needle move for you in the good direction? Then we'll talk a little bit about some of the hiccups.
So number one, I would say consistency, just being constantly consistent, making calls, constantly doing the thing every single day. For me, that was cold calling, door knocking, reaching out to FISBOs, calling Facebook leads. That would be number one. That would be the first thing. I would say consistency. A second thing that has been extremely positive for me is just the snowball, right? And it's kind of consistency again. When you're constantly consistent, you're going to realize that deals will just start to come because you're doing the right thing over and over again for long periods of time.
That's powerful. As you are building, something I often say, and I think this is in business or in life, but we often underestimate the momentum we build over time. And, you go to you're a fit guy. You're someone who goes to the gym, and because you have put in the reps, because you've worked out at the gym, because you have all of that years of background, you have momentum. And I often joke with you that if you eat bad or you're not in the gym for a few weeks, all it takes is like one workout and you're back to six-pack perfect shape again. And I share that because too many times we underestimate the years it takes to build that momentum. And I've seen you over the years just be consistent, not only in talking about in the gym, but over the years be consistent in your real estate investing business. You remember when you come into my world and very first started doing the terms business, like you just took instruction and implemented so rapidly and was always a constant learning mode. And I love that. But what's a couple of the pitfalls that people often get into in real estate investing that you might give pointers of how people, maybe who are newer to the business, can avoid those pitfalls or know what to look for?
So number one with that would be when you start to build your snowball and you start to get massive amounts of deal flow, really ask yourself questions before you even get to that point. For example, a question that Andrew always told me to ask myself, I didn't ask until way later, but was, if you were able to do 10 deals a month right now, would you be able to handle that amount of deal flow?
That's good.
And most people, we don't think that. We say we want to make 200 grand a month. We want to make 300 grand a month. But if you know getting 15 deals is going to slow your business down for the next 6 months, does it make sense to do those 15 deals all in that month? So I would tell you guys, make sure you pay a lot of attention to the amount of deal flow that you can handle and that you have multiple exit strategies for every deal that you buy.
That's good. Never get stuck on a deal. Vacant houses is death. And I see many times, and you've heard me say this, but when I watch people who perhaps overpay for a deal or get caught up in the excitement of doing a deal that isn't a great deal, I'm going, that plan sucks. Because all it takes is one house or two houses, or worse yet, 10 houses being vacant for too long, and now you got a problem. Now, they're easy to sell if we make them easy to buy, but somebody still has to be putting effort into making sure that they're sold or lease optioned or rented or whatever exit strategy you're using. I know you do Airbnb, you do long-term rental, you do lease options. What has shaken out, and no frame, like I don't care what it is, but what has shaken out to be your favorite exit strategy over the years?
My favorite exit strategy, wait, say again?
And why?
My favorite exit strategy would be, and this would be surprising to a lot of you guys, but Airbnb has been my favorite exit strategy just because of the high amounts of cash flow. I know you get your inconsistencies with Airbnb, but with our Airbnbs, we treat them as a business. So we don't have as much of that inconsistency and we get major cash flow throughout the year.
Absolutely. Something that is good, and comes back to pockets and knowing your market. I've seen people get wiped out in the Airbnb business over the years in some of the oversaturated markets. And something you've done, and we've done in the Louisville market, you've done in Savannah, is you have found a market that wasn't the market that, quote, everybody was going to, right? People got excited about Florida markets, and that's a whole different story of what happened. Yet you're there in Savannah just cranking away, kind of maybe what some people would consider a less sexy city, right? But you're there picking up these deals with equity and Airbnb and cash flowing like crazy. What's a business philosophy with the deep purpose of becoming the man that makes your dad proud, which you are, and with the deep purpose of building a business that's a legacy for your future family? Like, what's a business philosophy you live by that you think would be valuable for everyone to hear?
A business philosophy that I think would be super valuable for all of us here would be kill the chickens before you hunt the elephants.
Kill the chickens before you hunt the elephants. That's good.
Yeah. And I learned that from a mentor of mine, his name is Andrew Schlag. And what that means basically is make sure you take care of today's issues before you think about way too far in the future. With a lot of us, we have really big goals, ginormous goals. We want 10,000 houses. We want a $10 million net worth, $50 million net worth. But it's extremely important that you make sure you take care of today's issues, today's bills, today's problems, today's challenges before you start hunting after those elephants, because those elephants are going to make you, massive amount of cash, and they're going to be those big swings. But you want to make sure you take care of today's stuff first.
I love that. Well, thank you for sharing. I know you normally go a little longer on these. I want to get you a brand new, beautiful microphone and have you back again very soon. I thank you for hopping on with us today. I thank you for sharing, Marcel. It's always good hearing from you. I'll be seeing you in person in a few weeks. You'll be at the next event, and you and Jess, right?
Yep.
So excited to see you there. What's one thing before we leave? I know I didn't prep you for this, but what's one thing that you would say? You're part of our Freedom Life Mastermind family, and like most of the people who are in the community, you're someone who was already having a level of success, but I've just watched you in recent months blossom to new levels of thinking. It's incredible. What would you say has been the highlight of being part of the Freedom Life family?
The biggest highlight, there's so many different highlights, but the number one thing for me was the tribe, right? You're getting around people who are doing the business, you're getting around people who are doing deals, and you're able to tap into their network, right? You're able to learn from them. You're able to build lifelong friendships and relationships. Like, I was speaking with Chris, another member of the mastermind community, the other day, and I was talking to him about a lease option property that I'm currently running right now. And he's like, Marcel, why don't you just go do this? And just that one thing is going to save me probably 10 to 20 grand. So it's really just about having that network and having that tribe of people.
I love that, man. Thank you for sharing that. And thank you for the way you not only receive value there. I love just seeing you grow, but also you contribute in such a powerful way. And I'm very excited for your next steps and your next level, man. And we'll be back together again very soon in person, but we're going to do another podcast together very soon as well. So thanks for being on, brother.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. I'll see the rest of you tomorrow. Tomorrow is the Deal Room, Wednesday. Every Wednesday, we're closing community deals, which, by the way, Marcel, if you check your email from Truca, and every Wednesday, just so you know, Thursdays is Bible study. So make sure you sign up for those reminders for every Thursday, because we're doing Bible study. And I know you, as well as many other members, had requested that. So every Thursday at this time, we're doing Bible study, Leo and I, and you can sign up for that reminder. Every Wednesday is the Deal Room. So all of our coaching students and mastermind members can submit a deal. And I know you all have access to Deal Hub. Of course, you call me to close your deals anyway at random, which is totally cool. But every Wednesday, I want at least 5 deals to dial that are you guys's. So you'll have an email, and if you want to submit any hot deals in there for Wednesdays at noon PST, I need some good deals to dial so all the beautiful people watching and listening can hear me close deals live and inspire them to go get their own deals.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you, brother. I'll see you very soon. Thanks, guys, for listening. Bye for now.